Welcome to AB Part 4. In this part, we will tackle more questions with clear, step-by-step solution. You'll also see some UB question included here. I've already animated those, so I thought it's better to reuse them rather than let them go to waste. Don't worry, they're very similar to AB question and just as helpful. So be mindful and make sure to follow along. Alright, let's take a look at our first question. What is the distance traveled by a car which traveled at a speed of 80 km per hour for 3 hours and 30 minutes? Is it option A, option B, option C, or option D? First, we need to remember the golden rule of motion problem, which is distance equals speed multiplied time. From the question, we know that car speed is 80 km per hour and the time is 3 hours and 30 minutes. We must convert the time to hours. 30 minutes is like half an hour. And here's how to find that. We do the division, which is 30 divided by 60. That will give me 0.5. So the total time is 3 plus 0.5. That would give me 3.5 hours. Now we can use the formula, which is distance equal 80 times 3.5. If I do the multiplication, that will actually give me 280 kilometers. If we look at option, we see that option B is the correct answer, which is 280 kilometers. If 1 meter equals 3.281 feet, how many feet are there in 5 meters? Is it option A, option B, option C, or option D? To find how many feet are there in 5 meters, we use the conversion. So from the question given, we have 1 meter equal 3.281 feet. All we need to do is multiply them. So 3.281 feet times 5 meters, that would give me 16.405 feet. If we look at our option, we see that option C is the correct answer, which is 16.405 feet. P sell a table to Q at a profit of 10% and Q sell it to R at a profit of 12%. If R pay rupees 246.40 for it, then how much had P paid for it? Is it option A, option B, option C, or option D? For this question, I'll be using the reverse profit method, which means we will work our way backward from R all the way to P to find P original cost price. What that means is that the amount of P actually paid before making any profit. So before he make 10% profit. Let's break this question like step by step. We have here P, Q, and R. And the formula for calculating the cost price or the original price is cost price equal selling price times 100 divide 100 plus the profit percent. If it's a loss, it would be minus loss percent, but in our case, P and Q make a profit, so it will be plus profit percent. Now you might be asking, what does this 100 represent in the cost price formula? Well, the 100 represent 100%, which is the whole value of the cost price. P sold a table to Q at a 10% profit. That means P made 10% more than the cost price, and we don't know the cost price of P, and we will find that in a moment. If you look at our formula, we have 100 plus profit. Here 100 represents the full cost price or the whole value of the cost price, and we need to add that with our profit. We have our profit, which is 10%, so if I add them, I will get 110. Next, Q sold the same table to R at a profit of 12%. Again, we add that to a full cost price, we get 112. Now here's the key. R cost price is given, which is 246.40 rupees, and that is the same as Q selling price. So now we'll use this to find the Q cost price or the original price. We will use this formula, which is cost price equals selling price times 100 divided by 112. If I plug in the value, I would have 246.40 times 100 divided by 112. If I do the calculation, I will get 220, which is the cost price of Q. Now to find the P cost price, remember that Q cost price is the selling price now. So we can repeat the same process, which is P cost price equal 220 times 100 divide 110. Now that gives me 200 rupees, which is the cost price of P. So the original amount, the amount P paid is rupees 200. If I look at the option, we see that option A is the correct answer, which is 200. The charges of a hired car are 4 rupees per kilometer for the first 60 kilometer, and 5 rupees per kilometer for the next 60 kilometer, and 8 rupees for every 5 kilometer after that. Now Rohit traveled a total distance of 320 kilometer, and it's said that the money he had left was 1/4 of what he paid for the journey. Based on this, how much money did Rohit have with him initially? Okay, it sounds a bit complicated, but let's break it down slowly and make it simple. So first, for the first 60 kilometer, the car charges 4 rupees per kilometer. That's pretty straightforward. If I multiply 60 by 4, I get a total of 240. So Rohit paid 240 rupees for the first part of his journey. Next, for the next 60 kilometer, the rate changes. It's no longer 4 rupees, it becomes 5 rupees per kilometer. So again, 60 times 5 equal to 300 rupees. So far, Rohit has covered a distance of 120 kilometer and paid a total of 240 plus 300 rupees, which is 540 rupees. Now, the total journey is 320 kilometer, so the remaining distance is 320 minus 120, which gives us 200 kilometer left. Now, this part is interesting. Now, after 120 kilometer, the rate changes again. Instead of being charged per kilometer, the rate becomes 8 rupees for every 5 kilometer. So how do we handle that? Well, if it's 8 rupees for 5 kilometers, that means that per kilometer, the rate is 8 divided by 5, which is 1.6 rupees per kilometer. So now we just need to multiply that 1.6 rupees with the remaining 200 kilometers. And that gives us 320 rupees. Alright, let's add up everything Rohit paid. He paid 240 rupees for the first 60 kilometer, 300 rupees for the next 60, and 320 for the last 200 kilometer. So the total fee comes out to be 860 kilometer. Now here's the key part of the question. It says that money Rohit had left after paying was 1/4 of what he paid. So 1/4 of 860, that would equal 215, which is the leftover money. So if he paid 860 and had 215 left with him, then the amount he had with him in total, which is 175 rupees. Now let's check the option. We have option A, no. Option B, also no. Option C, still no. And option D, which is none of the above, which is the correct choice here. So the right answer is option D, which is none of the above. And Rohit originally had 175 rupees with him. If you find this video helpful, consider subscribing and like it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.